What's going on, famous entertainer, motivator, educator, Lucky Murray, back with another game cut news update. Today we're speaking about the spring game, a little bit about the spring game, the numbers compared to Clemson, a little bit about it. I know the spring game happened Saturday. I know I couldn't really do a whole lot of just reflective this past week because I was working super much. But I'm gonna break that down probably tomorrow on Patreon. But before I go any further, man, I need you to do first go. Subscribe to the Patreon. Yes, football season's coming back. There's more exclusive content, so you don't want to miss it. Go to patreon.com/LuckyMurray. 2, all right, buy the merch. All right, cue the video. Yes, I have a t-shirt, South Carolina t-shirt. Yes, support the South Carolina movement. Buy the t-shirt. Link will also be in the description below. Don't have a whole lot of time because I go to work soon. But let's talk about this real quick. My overall, just before I talk about the spring game numbers, but my initial overall look at the spring game, even though I couldn't watch all of it because I was traveling, taking my older son back home, I was watching it on the phone. Don't watch football games on the phone, but the atmosphere seemed great. It still seemed some hiccups that was happening, but the excitement around the program was probably bigger than I ever seen. Possibly in about 20 years. I've been following the Gamecocks football since 2000. So I think that the height of the Steve Spurrier era, it was high, if I remember correctly. But I think that, with this new era, it seemed like there's more optimism and hope for what to come. Because when Steve Spurrier came, yes, we knew that the program was going to change, but we didn't know how it was going to change. And we had very limited success when it came to football, the 69 ACC championship, or, the Black Magic team in 84 when we was independent, who went, I think, 10-2 or something like that. The George Rogers years where he won the Heisman Trophy. But other than that, we had a very, bleak history throughout our time as a football program. So the vibe felt great. Had some great plays. The spring game did look a little weird, but it wasn't like last year where it's just one play. The one half, like 15 minutes, and the rest of them was drills. We did have some drill works here and there, but it did look good. So that is my initial reaction of it. I'm gonna probably have a breakdown of it tomorrow on Patreon. I'm probably gonna because I can't play the videos here on YouTube, so I'm probably gonna switch over to Patreon. So you definitely don't want to miss that. But a story came out. ESPN Upstate. Excuse me, the Fan. They switched affiliations. Made a comment on Twitter. To talk about our numbers versus Clemson number. Unofficially, Clemson had 35,000 people at their spring game. Unofficially, we had 20,000 people at our game. So they made a statement. The state reported on this. So let's talk about this real quick, man. So I want to go back to Mark Ryan, right? Mark Ryan on air. Yes, ESPN. Not the Fan, excuse me. The Fan, right? He says spring game attendance. Clemson, 30,000 people. Carolina, 20,671. Put another way. Clemson 1, South Carolina 0, right? No. So that's why I'm going to the story. I want to have y'all with context. The estimate says, wait, the South Carolina announced that 20,671 fans made their way into Williams-Brice Stadium for this year's spring football game Saturday. Head coach Shane Beamer didn't think that figure was quite large enough. Asked whether he believed there was more than 20,000 fans in attendance, Beamer gave a speedy grip. 1,000,000,000%, he said. I don't know who said 20,000. There were more than 20,000 in there. I can promise you that. Beamer's comments followed social media chatter that speculate that there were more fans in attendance than the announced number. The spring game announced count provided by the university is heavily unofficial, especially given that the scrimmage isn't ticketed like a regular season game. Williams-Brice Stadium holds 70,559 people. The year's announced number was up from last year's head count of just over 13,000, which was limited due to COVID-19's pandemic. South Carolina hosted 25,842 for the spring game in 2019 and didn't hold a spring game in 2020. As the early stages of the pandemic canceled sports events, blah, 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 blah. Beamer was impressed with Saturday's turnout for the first night spring game in recent memory. The spring practice finale kicked off at 7 p.m. with Beamer giving credit to USC Athletic Director Ray Tanner and Senior Deputy Athletic Director Chance Miller for the night's game idea. Beamer was especially complimentary of Saturday's Gamecock walk in Williams-Brice Stadium. He said the pregame walk that we had, there's college football programs across the country that would die to have a walk like that for a regular season game, Beamer said. We had that kind of turnout for a pregame walk for a spring scrimmage in April. It's unbelievable. We got the greatest fans in the nation. They showed that tonight. All right, so let's go back to it, man. All right, you did come here for an English lesson. You came here to hear me talk about the Gamecocks. So what is that to say? I don't think that's a big deal. I think that, yes, it's unofficial. That's hard to really, pinpoint as far as the people coming in. You're not counting really everybody. They may have a scanner at the stadium. It's unofficial. So for the fan to try to pick on that and try to, poke the bear, I mean, it is what it is. Whatever floats your boat. But I'm thinking that this year is going to be a different year for the Gamecocks, and I expect, a very good season. 8 to 9 wins. I think I'm gonna do my official schedule breakdown this year only on Patreon. Yes, I said it. Right, I gotta say some exclusive content, man. I can't just be sprinkling all the content on YouTube so that you don't want to go to Patreon. But I think that's a good idea. I think that, yeah, it is what it is. People on social media want to talk. Haters, let them hate. But what you think about this conversation below? What are your thoughts about the spring game? Also, man, do you think the numbers matter? Write in the comment section below. Once again, it's entertaining, motivated, educated. Please don't forget all three. Like and Mary back with another Gamecock news update. And today, speaking about the Gamecock numbers, let me know what you think about the comment section below. But like always, it's the next time, people.